Okay, so on my first day of the IBM Fullstack Developer Certificate, I've managed to finish only the first module. I'm not pushing it too hard. Yeah, it's mostly theoretical. There hasn't been anything that I could, program or develop yet. It's gonna come up in the second course, I suppose. This is more of an overview on in the broader picture. So yeah, let's see my notes. Let's go through it. Yeah, so this is my notes from the first day. Um, yeah, so basically the course starts off with defining software engineering. Uh, uh, Nothing too unexpected. I think most of us will be aiming to become a developer rather than a software engineer without a degree, unless you have a degree in another field, then you will just be learning how to program on the side. So yeah, about it. For me, I think it's worth because you gain the bigger picture here from the software engineering point of view. Yes, here you see the phases of the software development lifecycle. So for me, the planning phase is actually something like, not that I was surprised of it, but knowing that it's like any other discipline and any other business where you need to come up to the stakeholder and actually agree on some solution that they will use, their use cases and so forth. It's not like surprising for me, but I would say I'm kind of surprised that in software it's the same as in any other discipline. Um, yeah, so the designing phase for me is probably the most confusing so far, I think, because it's actually of what I understood, there's a whole discipline on this called software architecture, and it's full of graphs, it's full of documentation, and as a developer, you're not going to be making this, but you're going to be using this software architecture designs to actually develop any part of the system that you'll be doing. So yeah. Then the third phase, development. That's probably when most of us are gonna end up. Um, yeah, it's pretty much right in the code, the functions. Um, yeah, I don't know what else to say about it here. Then testing phase. Yeah, this is interesting. I think every developer will be testing their own code, of course. If it runs before you upload it to Git or GitHub or anywhere else. Um, yeah, deployment. This is also interesting because as I learned in one of the videos, you will actually deploy it to something like a mock-up version of the final environment for your system. So you will first let the stakeholders test it. I suppose it's the more modern approach to this than the old school, you know, I would say the engineering approach, where you actually plan everything in detail and then you deploy the final version. I think, of what I understood, most of the times you will deploy like the alpha version, beta version, and GA version, general availability. Um, so yeah, and maintenance of, yeah, so like at this point the software should be done, but I guess you will still, like, for several months or maybe a year, you will still have someone from your team dedicated to, not full-time dedicated, I suppose, but just available to the stakeholders from this company that you made the project for, who will contact you if there is any bug, and then you will maintain it. That's pretty much it from the software development lifecycle. Again, I think there will be a lot more details for me to cover in the upcoming days, but yeah, that's as far as I get now. Um, yeah, this is okay. Yeah, that's for the requirement phase, which is the first phase. Ah, okay, that's interesting. Yeah. It was mentioned in the course that every company, every software development company might call these things differently. So, for example, a planning phase could be called like a requirement phase or something. Yeah, so I call it here requirement myself. Um, yeah, so I found this interesting because sorry, I had to think a little bit. Yeah, I found it interesting because we need to collect requirements not only from the stakeholders, the leaders of the company that the software will be for, but it's always good to have like a representative from every group of people who will be using the software. Yeah, so I don't want to give any examples because I don't have the knowledge for this yet. I'll do it later. Um, oh yeah, this one I took a screenshot of not because it was something new, but because I think it's always good to distinguish these goals and objectives. Yeah, from real life, you can set a goal to have a six pack, and the objective will be, your daily or bi-daily exercises, pull-ups, push-ups, sit-ups, crunch-ups, and so on. Um, yeah, okay, this is how the requirements are actually collected. So, yeah, you can do a survey, you can do some sort of form, you can prepare it and then use the output data, or you can just interview the people, ask them face to face. I'd say it's best to do both. Yeah, and then somewhere in here I had a note of, yes, software requirement specifications. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so the software requirement specification is that's a good point. It's basically the goal, I would say, in this case. Yeah, it's the broad, long-term achievable outcome. Yeah, that suits the purpose. And the system requirement specification, not software but system. Uh, wait, broader. Ah, okay. I guess broader in this context means it has more details in it. Yeah, like the yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Okay, okay. The software requirement specification is basically the goal, and this is the objective. Anyway, that's it from me today. I will upload day two tomorrow, and I'll be doing this every day until I'm finished with the whole course. And yeah, see you tomorrow.